Hey, can you hear me? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's recap these trades here. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about just using AI extensively to research these stocks and stuff like that, etc. So I'm sure you did a great job. Let's just see what setups you went ahead and found. And let's start in just a moment. Okay. I'm going to turn up my volume here. All right, cool. So let's recap these trades here. So we went ahead, we have American Superconductor Corporation here. Okay, so we have American Superconductor Corporation, AMSC. Let's go and let's recap this. Okay, so let's start on my higher time frames here. So on my weekly, I believe I'm going to check this one out potentially. Okay, so on my weekly time frame here, just checking out this stock. So this has been around since the 90s here, and it's about only $30 a share. This seems to be trying the bell curve. It just made this new area of resistance here. It could be break and retest off of this area of support here from this zone. We do have 3 separate taps here. But I think this could potentially be still heading in a downtrend. So we got to be extremely careful. Companies that have been around for a long time should be way higher than this. You know, they shouldn't be having downwards progression. They should be adding value to society. So then, you know, people can improve their lives. The company should improve people's lives. Okay. So value is extremely important. And just keeping that in mind is what's going to go ahead and separate just positive mind frames versus just negative mind frames, you know. So improving people's lives, focus on companies that are improving people's lives. So another thing too that I wanted to go ahead and cover, so within TradingView, you're going to be able to, a lot of the times you can just right click on the stock if it's added in your watch list. So let's say I go ahead and add it on my watch list here. AMSC. Okay. Then from here, I could go ahead and right click it. And I can go ahead and click on financials. So financials here would go ahead and give me the full report. And we're just going to go ahead and talk about some financials here. Okay. So financials are going to be really important to take a look at. All right. 1, market capitalization. So the earlier that you get into these companies, once again, the more percentage profit you're going to be able to make. So market cap. See when it's founded too. This has been around 1987. And, you know, why has it been flying in a downwards direction? Free float shares and closely held shares too. Okay, I'm going to be talking about that. And growth and profitability. So check this out here. So we could see the revenue increasing here in 2024. So if you see the blue, it's going to show revenue. So in quarter 2 of 2024, we were up around 54.47 million for American Superconductor. Next quarter went to 61.40 million. Next quarter, 66.6 million. Okay. And the next quarter, 72.36 million. Okay. Then after that, we went ahead and fell in a downward direction. So revenue started to pick up. Let's check annual. So from 2020 to today, we are making substantial profit. So I could see within 2023 and 2024, substantial profit was made for the most part. Okay. So keeping a track of the financials, seeing how much growth has been made year over year is really, really going to be important too. So this seems to be making money positively. This quarter, though, seems we could potentially be down around 2%, 2.80%, but we'll see if that starts picking up. So as far as that revenue, let's check it from here. So from 2018 to 2024, revenue has increased substantially. We love to see this. So paying attention to revenue on the stocks that we look at as well too is also going to be a really good indicator to let you know if the share price is going to go up. Because the share price, the whole reason, once again, people list their stocks on the stock market is for funding. So if their reason of listing on the stock market is working out, funding, and then they're putting that money back into the company, then that's going to be what we need to succeed. Okay. That's going to be what we need to succeed. So they only have 569 employees as well too. Revenue has been increasing. And let me see if there's any other statistics here. So I know Webull, you can really see like buy and sell, but for the most part, this has been making income since around here. Hard. Especially since around this 2018 area was when it picked up. So around where the arrow is right here and the circle is where income started to pick up. So income has definitely started to be being pumped into this company super duper hard. And once again, what do? Grid solutions, advanced power electronics, and resiliency systems, grid tech, grid stabilization, transmission solutions, electronic controls, and hardware for wind turbines and relatable renewable applications. Has developed and sold high temperature superconductor. Okay. So this is going to be for advanced power electronics, grid tech, grid stabilization, and transmission. Let's see if there's any news for this that's making it pump too. Has a $52 a share. Wall Street. Maintain rate. The maintain rate as well too. I'm going to be dropping just tons of videos and content on this. But the maintain rate as well too is going to be extremely important to look at, because that's what the millionaires and billionaires are projecting the stock to go to, and a lot of the time that's what the stock will head to. Not saying just completely rely on that, but if you're buying when they're buying, that's going to be what we want. We want to be buying when the whales are buying, and all whales are going to be people with a lot of currency. Okay. So it has a $52 a share by Clear Street. So $52 a share is going to be here. Okay, so waiting for price to go ahead and increase here. Make some good solid progression. Let's go ahead and let's check out this news here. So shares of power resiliency provider American Superconductor jumped 5.8% in the morning session. Okay. The firm highlighted American Superconductor's expertise in enhancing power's capacity. Double-digit sales growth for its grid solutions in the United States and Brazil, along with its Wind India operations, having grown 51% over the previous 12 months. Crazy. Yeah, for sure. Definitely is a lot. Price is making lots of upward progression here. And yeah, it's really just boosting up forward. Okay, so cool. That's that one. This one could potentially be a close at around either the $52 a share, or even this support right here at like 46, or just close the resistance that it just recently fell down from at 70. And you can go and catch that nice sweep and catch this gap up if the higher lows decide to be true. We'll see on the daily here if this support is real. So we still don't have tons of buying here yet in this zone. Still kind of trapped in this little area here. Waiting for price to escape this trapped little area here. So just give me a time. Okay. So we have SEMrush, SEMR. Whoa, 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 whoa. Giant green candle there. Let's check that out. I wonder why. SEMR. SEMrush Holdings. Okay. Ah, I see. So they launched official app in ChatGPT, offering users direct access to SEMrush data. Okay. SEMrush bid buy to aid Adobe's AI expertise. SEMrush brings more than a decade of SEO expertise and geo capabilities that will help Adobe customers improve their brand visibility and expand audience reach. SEMrush solutions help marketers remain discoverable in AI search as consumers increasingly turn to large language models such as ChatGPT and Google Gemini for information, recommendations, and purchase decisions. SEMrush has a strong enterprise clientele, including the likes of Amazon, JP Morgan Chase, and TikTok. Wow, definitely some super beast billion-dollar companies. Okay. Yeah, this could be a banger that you went in and found. And how did you find this one here? So we're hitting a nice gap up here on this as well too. Earnings were the 5th of November. So earnings were here. And then prices decided to go ahead and gap up. So I think we could definitely see a nice push up hard to around this 18 to this $32 a share. It's been lots of buying from this pull up, but still, I still think price could potentially maintain this area and then have a nice push up of buying afterwards. So this could be a great one as well too. SEMrush, definitely a great find here. Nice job. Nice find. Let's go and let's check out the statistics. So SEMrush financials overview. 1.8 billion market cap. Founded in 2008. I like that a lot. Founded a little earlier than the other company that we just looked at. That was in the 1980s. So this is still a pretty recent company. They have more employees than the other company. And you see this too. Pay attention to this. You see how it says closely held shares and then free float shares. So closely held shares and free float shares. Closely held shares are going to mean people holding their shares for just quite a long time, people who believe in the company. And just like the company we just looked at though, it had a lot of free float shares, more than closely held shares, which means the shares just waiting to be bought. So this one right here, people are knowing that this company could be a strong buy and waiting to catch this up. And valuation here. Let's go and let's check out the statements. So let's go ahead and let's check out the income statement. Actually, we'll check out the balance sheet. Okay, so the balance sheet here looks like the year-over-year growth is happening. Even the income is increasing as well too. As far as the cash flow as well too. So let's check out the cash flow. So starting in Q4 2023, had around 11.55 million cash flow. Q1 2024, around 14.78 million. Q2 2024 is 12.14 million. Then Q3, 8.14 million. Q4 2024, 11.93 million. I don't know why this is an increase here. I just think because the data is just off. But then after Q4 to Q1 too, jumped it up to 22.11 million 2025, and then negative increase to 684,000. So let me check the income statement. The income still increased, so I wonder if they just had some debt to pay off or something like that. But after that, income went ahead and kind of stabilized once again back to normal. So they probably just had something to pay off for. As far as the income, it's been increasing year over year after year after year. So that's something that's really, really good. So as far as their cash flow, once again, the fact that that's negative could mean debt or something like that. But Looks like they went in and took care of that and got right back on track. And the balance sheet looks like it's increasing year after year after year after year, letting us know that this company is making some nice profit. So this company right here, not paying dividends yet. And yeah, once again, revenue increasing 2019, started at 92.11 million, 2024, 376.81 million. So SEMrush making lots of money, definitely heading up an upwards direction, worthwhile the gap up. On my weekly here, would definitely go ahead and take this nice gap here and catch this gap from like the 11.89 to the 18.69 and catch your trade. Yeah. So nice. And you could really ride this to ATH if you really believed in it as well too. So revenue and growth year after year after year. Heading upwards directions, 376.8, which is exactly what I'm pretty sure we just looked at in Trading View. 376.8, so cool. So ChatGPT gives correct and accurate information. Alhamdulillah for that. It's looking great. So double verify holdings, DV. Let me go ahead and check out this chart here. Double verify holdings. So I'm on the weekly with this here. So this one's heading just straight falling knife for a couple of years. So it looks like this IPO'd, initial public offering. Looks like this IPO'd in 2021. Okay, companies IPO for profit. Okay, so they can reinvest in the company. So whenever we invest in their companies, that companies go ahead and IPO for profit, so they can reinvest in the company whenever we pretty much structure them straight to it. Okay. So just keep things in perspective and just understand that, okay, whenever you are taking your trades, just understand that things just take a little bit of time, but TP initially, it will eventually get hit. Just trust the process and really just give your trades time to cook. Giving your trades time to cook is one thing that traders seem to fail to do. And it's one thing that's really going to go ahead and hold a lot of people back for a long time. So let's head over the next pair here. Okay, so we went ahead and stopped at the double verify holdings. So I'm going to go ahead and do some little AI research here with you just to go ahead and let you know. So we want to go ahead and use whatever's happening within the current world structure. Okay, that's going to go ahead and be our profit points. So for example, the United States dollar right now, as of the time of this recording or whenever I'm teaching this mentorship, is going to be in a time period where the United States dollar isn't worth much. Okay, well, it's still worth a lot, but it's going down year after year after year after year. Houses that were worth 50,000, 10 years ago, are now worth 300,000 today. Okay, so that's a $250,000 gain for people who bought the house. But if you're trying to buy a house within the market, you're pretty much buying at all-time highs for what we know. Okay, so keeping things in a perspective like that is what's going to go ahead and change the game. So using your AI to dominate the market is really going to go ahead and help you. So let's say AI stocks are going to go ahead and be popular. I would go ahead and head over to your AI search tool. You could use ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, whatever. And then from there, I want you to go ahead and break down to the AI. Get used to talking to the AI really descriptively. People think that AI is just there to do absolutely everything for them. No, you got to talk to it really, really specifically really, really directly. So, for instance, if I know that the United States dollar is having some issues due to inflation, since they keep just clicking the print button, what I'm going to go ahead and do is head over to the AI software. And then from there, I can go ahead and type in top energy stocks and top mining stocks under $30 a share. Give me a list of at least 15 stocks that are increasing in revenue. Okay. Don't give me poor performing stocks. Okay, so this is the difference between other mentorships and this one. I always going to keep up with the times. Okay, so if you're having a hard time like Chris, man, I can't keep playing these high cap, high market cap stocks. I'm trying to find some stocks at the low and write it up. I got you. Okay, and I would just want to get you guys equipped with the correct information that you need in order to do your research correctly whenever it needs to be done. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's wait for the list to go ahead and compile here. And while you're doing that, have your trading view open. Be ready to, one, start on your higher time frames. Of course, when we're analyzing everything, we want to go from the weekly time frame to the daily time frame to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so from the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour, each of them are going to go ahead and be imperative for our success. You want to be playing your higher time frames. Your higher time frames are going to be where your institutions are going to be looking at too, such as your hedge funds or individual people with a large amount of orders or capital. Okay, your higher time frame analysis is going to be absolutely everything. And just living on the 1 minute and scalping, it's not going to turn you into a billionaire or a millionaire. It's about really taking your time, catching the right trades, and positioning yourself. Okay, so waiting for the AI to go ahead and generate here. And as we do that, let's go and let's talk about some things. So the reason why I asked the AI to look for stocks that are increasing in revenue and not to give me poor performing stocks is because if a stock has been out since, let's say, 1980, okay, and it's still not above like $50 a share, a lot of the times that can go ahead and be a problem. Okay, even the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100, just raw shares, move quicker than that and more consistently than that. So try not to invest into companies that are not making upwards progression. Focus on companies that are bringing value to the world. Any company that's bringing value is going to be a company that's you're going to be wanting to be focused on. Okay, value. Focus on the value of the company. Okay, so value can mean a multitude of things too. So let's say I believe Serve, for example. Serve is going to be the automatic robot service that I believe picks up people. Okay, let me go and pull up the chart here. So we got Serve Robotics here, blasting in an upwards direction, looking like it wants to head up and fill this gap here, and head up to this all-time highs wick up here. And we have around 10 points left about from where we currently are. So lots of profit potential to be made here, especially now that it's getting found out. People are starting to buy a lot more. And even just checking Serve out here, check out the financials. Okay, so just checking out the raw revenue, just look at 2022. They were only doing 170 or 107,000. And in 2023, they were doing 207,000. Checking at 2024, they started doing millions. Okay, million in software, 332,000 in delivery, and 300,000 in branding. And if I go ahead and pull up the statements and the cash flow here, their cash flow seems to be a little bit bonky here. So it means they could be clearing debt, paying stuff off, or just trying to progress. But looking at the balance sheet here and the income statement, the company seems to be projecting in a pretty positive direction. We started strong on the Q1 of 2024, and then Q3 of 2025, we had here for 687,000. So Serve Robotics, once again, it engages in self-driving delivery, and it designs, develops, and operates zero-emission robots that serve in public spaces, starting with food delivery. Okay, so what it does is automatic food delivery service, and you never know if things will be innovated into more of an Uber style where people will get picked up as well too. So putting things perspective with what's happening now is what's going to make you profitable. Okay, hold on. So Grok here, it's taking a fat minute. So we're gonna go chat GPT. Cool, ChatGPT is a lot quicker. Let's go ahead and let's check out these lists. So we have GeoPark Ltd. So GPRK, it's a South American E&P energy producer with multi-year revenue growth trends and low valuation. So GPRK. So GPRK here looks like it wants to head in an upwards direction. We just recently made this resistance here off the weekly a couple of weeks ago. GPRK. And the thing about this stock, though, it's been around since around the 010s. It's starting to maintain, though. Looks like it wants to maintain this support area right here, which I see is kind of a mirror of this support right here. So it's not just bouncing for no reason. So it wants a support mirror off of this black line right here. So I'm a big fan of that. Okay, big fan of any support mirrors. It's not just bouncing for no reason. So price could want to bounce in upwards direction from here. Profit could potentially be made. GPRK. I'm going to go ahead and right click it. Let me go through the financials here. So a lot of free float shares, which means that people aren't desperately looking to hold it. Closely held shares is less than the free float shares. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to the revenue here. So from 2018, we're doing around 600 million here. 2024, we're doing around 650, 60 million. So big increase here. 2022, though, we're doing over $1 billion. So I don't know what happened here. A little bit of a fall off. Let me check the statements out. Income statement. Income is looking kind of bonky. I don't know if just because that year was just super duper heavy, but income seems to be on a downtrend. It's starting to pick up the pace. Last quarter, or 2025 June, did 119, and then 2023 quarter, or quarter 3 in September 2025, did 125 million. So a little increase there, but this stock here, I wonder if it's more event based, but that I'm gonna go ahead and try and skip on. I'm gonna go ahead and check BSM out. Blackstone Minerals, okay, weekly here. So we're at $13 a share. Pretty much at all-time highs on this one. But this one I could definitely see increasing in an upwards direction over the years. Blackstone Minerals, financial. You can hear a lot of free flow shares, earnings, and revenue here. Let me see, revenue. Revenue could be looking better. Let me check out the stats, statements. Cash flow is starting to pick up the pace as of this quarter. Same thing with the income too. It's trying to pick up the pace, but income's kind of all over the place. Think I'm going to go ahead and skip on that one as well too. So be picky with your stocks. You know, there's a lot of options and stuff like that. So you can fully be picky with your stocks. If you notice that, okay, the stock isn't really going to be something that I want to be invested in long term, you just don't need to take that. So take BuyRef, for example. BuyRef, it's going to go ahead and be a Canadian E&P stock with buy ratings and revenue growth. So let's check out BuyRef. Okay, BuyRef could actually be a pretty good buy here. I believe we checked this one out. Financials here. Cool. Trying to stay within that 100 million range. We had a strong 2023, so it seems we fell off a bit. Revenue had a strong 2022. So a lot of the oil stocks I'm realizing had a strong 2022. So that probably has something to do with COVID and resources, which makes sense. But I think the stock could definitely still be worthwhile though. Definitely wanting one to close at least to its all-time highs. Still pretty new as well too. Only been out since like 2011. So at least to this